That's why I broke down this class into two parts because there's just so much that this chakra or this vortex of energy that hits your body takes care of. Um, and it's a lot of our major organs, you know, that if you didn't if you didn't know this energy, you know, where it comes from, you really can't keep it balanced or keep a more balanced energy hitting your stomach area because that's why a lot of people have stomach aches and stomach problems too, is because that chakra is not um turning right properly with the energy because either it's being overactive with too much energy hitting it or it's not getting enough energy hitting it for it to work. So it's showing those symptoms in your body so that you can be, you know, having attention and being awareness. Oh, I need to work on this area of my body. So I found it quite interesting, you know, to learn about your body because there's a lot of stuff. Creator made us very unique when he made us. We're better than a computer. So we'll start class off with a prayer today, and I'm just going to call on Sherry. Would you like to start the prayer today?
Oh, good morning. I guess so, right? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Talking. Okay, well,
You'll be fine, girl. Just do it. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I feel like everybody should have, you know, do the prayers every now and then. So I'll call on everybody eventually.
Okay, thank you, Kurt, for bringing us here today, for waking up and enjoying another day. And keep our hearts and minds and chakras open to receive these lessons. And amen. Blessed be.
That was pretty good. Thank you.
Okay.
Want me to play the song?
And so since I'll make sure that everybody knows on the week of Christmas, we're not going to have class. We'll come back the following week on what day? The 27th, is that what you said?
Yeah, we'll miss the 20th, come back on the 27th.
Yes. So that we won't all be stressing to come to class in case we have to do other things to get ready for the holiday. Okay.
All right.
So back to the chakra of the solar plex.
Do you want me to play the song?
Well, yes.
All right, I'll do that now.
I hope y'all like this little song. I thought it was cute because this chakra, you know, brings in the sunshine and everything. So I just picked this little song. I thought it was cute, representing the sunshine that we need to bring into our bodies every day.
If you're starting to think that the clouds are here to stay, if you're starting to think that they'll never go away, if you're starting to think that the sky is always grey, well, hold on. If you're starting to think that the rain will never stop, if you're starting to think it gets worse with every drop, if you're starting to think it's the same thing every day, well, hold on, hey, hey, hey. Sprinkle a little sunshine over you. Sprinkle a little yellow on your blue. Sprinkle a little sunshine on your day, and pretty soon things will go your way. If you're starting to think that the moon has lost its glow, if you're starting to think that the stars will never show, if you're starting starting to think that you're lost in the Milky Way, well, hold on. If you're starting to think that you're running out of puff, if you're starting to think that you've really had enough, take a deep breath, shake it off, join in and say, well, come on, hey, hey, hey. Sprinkle a little sunshine over you. Sprinkle a little yellow on your blue. Sprinkle a little sunshine on your day, and pretty soon things will go your way. We all feel a little down sometimes. We all feel a little sad. Our smile turns upside down. Sometimes we feel good and sometimes bad. All you gotta do is sprinkle a little sunshine over you. Sprinkle a little yellow on your blue. Sprinkle a little sunshine on your day, and pretty soon things will go your way. Sprinkle a little sunshine over you. Sprinkle a little yellow on your blue. Sprinkle a little sunshine in your own way, and pretty soon you'll brighten up your day. Sprinkle a little sunshine over you. Sprinkle a little yellow on your blue. Sprinkle a little sunshine on your day, and pretty soon you know things will go your way. It's true, things will go your way. Yeah, yeah, things will go your way.
That was cute. All yours, Shahal.
Yeah, I thought y'all would like that. How many of y'all get up in the morning and sometimes you just feel kind of gloomy? Well, you know, when we get started without our first cup of coffee and stuff, and you're dragging, and then you go, how can I pick myself up and get myself going? And so when I saw that song, I was like, oh, this is a perfect song for that. You know, because this solar plex, the solar plexus is the center that you need to send that energy to wake yourself up, you know, to get yourself going, and get your blood pumping and all of that. And so I just thought it fit right in to the class today. So we're gonna go back to, you know, understanding this is the life force energy coming into this chakra. And so this is the strongest, you know, the energy, the strongest energy that's coming in. And it's going through every part of your body, through the root chakra, through the second chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra. You know, each one plays a part in moving this energy up through your body. And to understand how and why it's moving in your body the way it is. There's an order to everything. That's why, you know, in the native world, we say everything's connected, because everything is connected. There is an order to everything and how everything works. And the more you can realize and see how things connect together, the more you'll be able to understand, yes, everything is connected. And if you don't learn the stuff that's connected, you know, then how are you going to know all about yourself? That's why, you know, back, it's becoming more knowledgeable now for people to accept, but back in the day, people wouldn't even look at your chakras because they said, oh, this information is coming out of India. So it was something that was not for us to learn. But it's not true. This is part of our body, you know. And of course, like I said again, this is where the new age came in, that this was new age stuff. But this isn't new age stuff. This is our body. This is what's in our body. And it's new to us because we're not taught it anymore. And a long, long time ago, they taught these things to the children when they were growing up. And it'd be very beneficial now to teach this to the children growing up. Because if they learn this as they're growing right now, they would be more balanced than we are. Because they would understand it instead of having to learn it like we are having to learn it at this age group. I've got a lot of notes, y'all, so I'm trying to get to the right page. Okay, so the life force energy is also called prana, and it actually grows up in your body when it starts attaching to the elements that it is connected to in your pathways. Okay, and so if you remember me telling you about the root chakra was connected to the element of earth, and then the second chakra is connected to the element of water, and the solar plexus is connected to the element of fire. And then, of course, we go on up to the heart, it's connected to the air. All these elements, when this energy comes into your body, that's the doorway opening, and it connects to the elements to move the energy up through your body. And it goes in all the directions of your body through your chakra system, from the root all the way up to the top of your head. And when it reaches your third eye, that's when it actually connects to the spiritual and universal energy. Okay, and the crown chakra is what actually connects you to your Christ consciousness. And when we get there, you're going to be really surprised, because it has a lot of petals on it. Like, you know, we're working on the 10 petal system right now, right? On this chakra. And did any of y'all study that this past week? of what all 10 of those petals represented in you? Because I think it's very important to address it. So we're going to go back and address those real quick so that everybody will know, you know, and understand. This is important to understand because you have to work through all these petals. Okay, so I'm going to go back and repeat it. The 10 petals are the thoughts that surface in the mind and represent the negative traits or characters that we must overcome to open up this chakra. Okay, and the very first one is spiritual ignorance. So if you're not aware of it, then you're ignorant of it. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It's just you're not aware of it. So you don't have awareness of it. How can you fix it? The second one is fear. You have to work through all your fear and not be afraid of nothing. Now that's a hard one if you think about it, because even I get fear. You know, when you get, like, I'll tell you one of my biggest fears after having my heart attack. As soon as I have a feeling in my heart, the very first thing that comes up without me even thinking about it is, oh, am I having another heart attack? Well, what do you think that is? That's fear. And that's, my body's addressing that before I even think it. So these are things that you have to work on to change, and the way you change it is with an affirmation. When it comes up in you, which we'll talk about later on in the class. You change that with an affirmation every time it rises up in you, which will clear that pedal so that it stays open for this energy to flow properly through it. The third one is jealousy and envy of other people's things, or however y'all think jealousy is, how you think it is. And then we have treachery and betrayal. The next one is shame. And all of these are on a different pedal. The number 6 was thirst. Okay, and I wrote it down like that because it can mean many things, and it doesn't mean being thirsty. It also means lusting after stuff that you don't really need. So that's very important because we have all done that in our lives, lusted after other things, whether it be sexual lust or the wants and needs of greed. Now you think about that, because there's one, I thought about this really hard the other day, is this pedal and number 3, the third pedal, if both of those are stuck, they kind of go hand in hand with one another if you think about it. So those two could have blockages together at the same time, so that they're not open all the way. The number 7 is disgust and hatred, holding hatred in your heart or disgust or something. And then we have delusion, and that's where you know what delusion is, where you think you don't really want to see the truth. Sometimes we deny seeing the truth, delusional of things. Foolishness is the next one, and then sadness. So it's really important to understand that each one of these pedals, like I was saying, we have to learn how to change that into an affirmation when it comes up into it, for us to recognize. So I'm gonna go to the affirmations, because there's a lot of affirmations you can put with this to change these thoughts when they come up in you. The very first one, and I would make for, if you're working on your chakras, I would make paper with all these affirmations on them and stick them somewhere so you can read them every day until you start learning. Eventually you'll know them by heart, and you won't have to look at the paper anymore. You can just, say it in your mind. But the very first one is, I feel calm, confident, and powerful. Which, how many of us really feel powerful? Do you feel powerful when you get up in the morning? I was thinking about this morning. Did I feel powerful this morning? I did not feel very powerful this morning. So that was the first thing that I did this morning, is I stated that to myself. And you'd be surprised if you speak it out, how it makes you feel. Because it brings that power. So, try it. When you're not feeling real good, try just that one statement. I feel calm, confident, and powerful. And you'll see how it makes you feel. The next one is, I feel ready to face challenges. And of course, we all have challenges every day. There's a challenge that we have to go through if you get out in this world. And look, if you try to hide in your house so that you don't have these challenges, guess what? They come to you at your house too. So you can't get away from them. They're going to come to you. So don't try hiding from them. But You know, and that could relate to being delusioned. You know, you delusioned yourself to say, well, if I just stay in my house, it won't happen to me. Well, guess what? Yes, it does. The next one is I feel motivated to pursue my purpose. And a lot of people don't know what their purpose is. And that's okay not to know what your purpose is, because your purpose can change while you're growing. And so you might want to just say for your purpose every day is I want to be happy. I want to find joy. You know, I want to be able to speak better to uh, my husband or my daughters or my children. You know, and when you start speaking that out of your mouth, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start doing those things. Things are going to start changing around. The energy's going to start moving. The next one is I am ambitious and capable of everything. Now, I think this is a very good, because we've been told in our lives we can't do things. You can do anything you want to do. And that's a big blockage if you think about it. When you're told as a child you can't do things, that's why I really think that you should take no out of your vocabulary, because we teach the children here know so much that it becomes such a blockage in them, where if the parents would say, instead of saying no, say, we need to do it this way because it's a better way, instead of saying, no, don't do that, don't do this. Because do you ever think about how parents do? They just follow, don't do that, but they don't never give you a reason of why you're not supposed to do it, because we don't think about that, right? And so it really causes problems for the children later, because that's drilled into us. No, 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 no. And that's part of this affirmation right here, that it's going to break all those patterns of when you were a child, when you were told no, 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 no. You know, because each one of us heard this in our lives, each one of it. And so it stopped us from being open and realizing that we could achieve anything we set our mind to. So I just wanted to share that because I thought that was very important. The next one is I forgive myself for the past mistakes, and I have learned from them. And that actually is really big. And each one of us knows how that feels too, when we have achieved that, understanding that we've cleared that mistake, you know, that we made. Whether it be by saying, I'm sorry that I did this to you, and addressing the person, or making amends for it. You automatically can tell the energy shifts, and the feeling that it brings in you tells you that you're on the right track. And the biggest part is forgiving yourself for feeling like that. Okay. And I'll tell you, I had to a lot because of the way I was brought up in my younger years. When I got to this part of myself, I had to forgive myself a lot for holding hatred in my heart, which is one of those petals, you know, that we're talking about. Anger and hatred, because I had a lot of it. I was mad at my sisters. I was mad at my brothers. I was mad at my mama. I was mad at everybody. I was mad at the world. And so in a lot of places, I now realize for myself at this age, I was really blocked in a lot of things. And I wished I would have somebody show this to me at a younger age. That's why I think it's very important to teach the children this, because it's very important. So they don't have to wait until our age to say, hey, we could have fixed that way back then if we'd have known it, the what ifs. Okay, this one I thought was very, very true and very important. Is the only thing that I need to control is how I respond to situations. And that is so true, because only you, through your free will, have the choice of how you're going to respond and how it's going to make you feel. And of course, in the past lessons, because we went through the emotional and mental phases first before we got on these lessons, we all know how to address those emotions that are coming up in us, right? And if you know that it's not a good emotion, then you can change it into a positive one. You're going to have a better outcome, and that's where this line right here comes from. The only thing I need to control is how I respond to the situation, because it's going to guide you in the right way. The next one is, can I create positive change in my life? If you don't like the way your life is going or the things that are happening in your life, then change it. Find your happiness in what you need. I know for a fact that I was taught, and this does not work. You do not find your happiness in other people. Your happiness comes from within inside yourself. Your happiness comes from loving yourself. You have to have all of that first and show it to other people to be able to receive it in your life. So when somebody's treating you mean in a relationship, this is very important. I learned this a long time ago. And if I'd have learned like-minded energy attracts like-minded energy, it would have helped me so much in my first marriage. Okay, because I was in a very abusive first marriage. I got sold into marriage. A lot of people don't know this. When I was 15 years old. So, so I was more like an object that this person purchased. So, because of that, anything this person said to me, I was to do, and I wasn't to rebuke it or fight back on it. But when I started to do that, it come out in anger, because it was the same type of energy that was being put on me that I put on the other person. And guess what? It become a very violent situation. But if I had known what I know now about changing energy, if I would have addressed it with love and forgiveness and everything, I could have changed it. Now, does that mean that I would have stayed in it? No, but I would have changed things around so it wouldn't have been so hard on me. But I didn't have these tools, and I do call them tools, and you need to put them in your toolbox and use them, just not put them in the toolbox. No, they're in your toolbox and take them out when you need them, because the way you address the energy coming at you, even if it's a person, it's energy. And you have to realize it's energy coming at you, and you can change the energy and the way it flows toward you. And Pam was a good example. I'm using you, Pam, again, because Pam was in a situation where she had all this hard energy coming at her of people fighting, people not wanting to make their own decisions. And she finally decided, I'm going to choose what I need, and I'm going to go do this. And because she did that, and she did it in a loving way, it wasn't in a mean way, as you can see, we know the outcome of it. And so there's a lot of things you can change. And if you take the person or whoever's sending this energy towards you, take that person out of the equation and realize and look at the energy and see what type of energy it is. If it isn't the type of energy that you want, then change that energy. And you change it with love, unconditional love. And you have to have a lot of courage to endure the things that come with it, because, you know, as you're changing this energy, that's where you're going to have the challenges that on the second line of affirmations, I feel ready to face the challenges, because you're going to have challenges while you're going through this. But it's going to build this character up in your solar plex. And you're going to stand in your power. You're going to learn how to stand in it. Okay. I can create positive change in my life. I stand in my personal power. I didn't. Yes, I had to count it, because that was number 8. Colleen was asking me, is that number 8? And well, I didn't number them. The next one is, I honor the power within me. This is very important, you know, honoring yourself and honoring that you have the right to have joy. You have the right to have happiness in your life. You have the right to love yourself and to be loved. Back when I was married, like, I didn't have this. I didn't even know what honoring the power within you even meant. So it goes back to what I'm saying. If you can teach the children this, okay, this is very powerful stuff that will help them, that they need in their toolbox before they even go into a relationship. They need to have that relationship with themselves and understand how a relationship works. It's quite interesting, but it's quite powerful too. Always be open to new ideals. Okay, because this goes back to everything's connected. Okay, your best friend or somebody you know might give you an ideal, and if you're really listening and really opening to it, it can help you move the energy and get you out of being in stagnation and stuck. But you have to be open to, you know, you have to be open to those new ideals. You can't just be saying, no, I ain't gonna do that. I was really stuck like that, where I didn't want to listen to anybody, but that come with trust issues, you know, not being able to trust. And that, of course, that's another one of those chakras, right? Not this pedal chakra, but it's another pedal on a chakra that wasn't working right. Don't seek the approval of others. Okay, all of us have been taught to, you know, that's how we were feeding off the energy of the 2 wolves until we learned that, you know, how to feed the right wolf the proper way, is we were seeking that attention from others and approval from others that we were doing the right thing. We don't need that. All you need to know is stand in your personal power and your confidence within yourself, and know that you're where you're supposed to be. And you'll start learning to do that and feel it. And people are going to come up to you and ask you, what are you doing? You have changed so much. And you'll be able to tell them, I found myself. I'm working on myself. You know, I've learned to love myself. The next one is to be courageous. You know, don't be afraid to step out into the unknown. How many of y'all were told not to step out into the unknown because it'd hurt you? Don't do that. You don't know what's going to happen if you do that. How many times was that told to you in your life? And guess what? If it was told to you and you listened to that, then you might have missed the doorway that Creator opened up for you because you were too afraid to step through it. Life is an adventure, and life is what you create it to be through your thinking process and through how you respond to things. So you've got to walk through those doors, create those things. You know, create the happiness that you want in your life because you can do it. You really, really can do it if that's where you want to be. And where you want to be is that love within inside yourself. And once you find that love within inside yourself, you can harness that and bring it out into the outer part of your world and send it and give it to others and teach them how to be that light and that unconditional love. And before you know it, you have a whole community of people that are giving you unconditional love. And it's an amazing thing to be able to experience that. I have got my paperwork all messed up, so I've got to find my next page, y'all. So give me just a minute. Okay. So we're going to go to what all the solar plexus is connected to. Like the solar plexus is connected to the element of fire. Okay, and the fire is the sun. The planet of the sun. Okay, the color is yellow. It's always yellow. So the getting out in the sunshine for 20 minutes a day to bring the sunshine in is not only good for vitamin D, you know, in your body, but it also is bringing that color into your auric field for this chakra. And that's another thing that you'll learn along the way, and we'll have a class on it, is when we get into the auric field, which is the surrounding layers of energy around your body. You're going to find that each chakra has a layer around the outside of your body, and it can become weak. That color can become weak if some of these petals are not open. Okay, and if you've ever heard people say, oh, you have a hole in your auric field, which a lot of people have never heard that, but in the native world, you can hear a lot, you have a hole in your field, and then you sit there and go, well, how'd this happen? Well, it could happen because one of your petals are stuck in your chakras, you know, and so your energy field was weak in that area, and that's where the energy hit, and it made a hole so that energy could come on in to your physical body and hit you. So we will have a class on color therapy and how to bring color into your auric field at a later time. So we'll learn all about that too, but back to what the solar plex does. It mainly works on the digestive system and your metabolic system. And that's a lot. And that's what Susan was saying. You know, it deals with your liver, your gallbladder, your pancreas, all your organs, your really important organs. this chakra is over. Okay, and back to the sun, the planet is the sun. Hi,
Hello.
can I help you?
Yes,
Are you-
Danny Trouse is supposed to be about athletic shoes.
He's down there at the end of the hall there. You're welcome. Sorry. Um, Just give me a minute, y'all. I'm trying to reset myself. So yeah, we're going back to the male and female energy. Every time energy hits your body, it's gonna either be male or female. Okay, this isn't something that you really need to know off your, off the course every time this energy hits. But each chakra deals with a certain energy. And so this chakra is really strong male energy because of the sun, the planet of the sun being in it. So it's sending a lot of male energy down to help grow, okay, and identify the ego, your spiritual identity, and create your personality, of course, through free will, right? So it's a lot of stuff, but each chakra has a different energy that works more prominent in it. And the solar plexus, the male frequency, it does have female energy coming through it too, but the male is more dominant. And it is, we have to have that really to clear all of those 10 characteristics in our body, get it cleared off. Because if we didn't have that energy, we wouldn't be able to recognize what it is. Now, the sound frequency that goes with this chakra is 528 hertz. Okay, and if you're doing a meditation, which at the end of all the classes, when we get through with all the up to the crown chakra, we will do a sound meditation so that y'all can learn the sounds and the symbols of how to place your hands and everything. That'll be coming in some of the lessons later down the road. But the sound is Ram, R-A-M, Ram. And when you start making this own sound for yourself, your body's gonna identify with the vibration and the sound that's coming from your body to help your chakras. Okay, and a lot of people, can you hold on for just a minute, please? Okay, sorry about that, y'all. So back to what I was saying, there's a sound frequency, and the sound frequency, when you can do the sound frequency, you have your own sound, and your body's going to recognize that sound. So when you start learning how to do these sound meditations for your chakra, it will be a lot better for you to say it for yourself instead of just listening to it. Okay, you can listen to it and it's gonna help bring it up. But if you start saying it and voicing it, then your body's gonna resonate with it a lot better. This frequency brings the vibration of unconditional love and restores human consciousness and harmony and balance into your life when you do this wrong vibration. And it's very important too to learn the yoga poses. Now, I don't know if we'll ever have a class on the yoga poses. That might be something y'all will have to check out on yourself, you know, but I really truly do feel you need to do yoga poses with this too, because remember back when I was telling you the thought, action, and reaction moves energy. That's very important. Y'all, please, I'm sorry, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Shahawan. We're getting this interruptions. Like what we're doing. Come on. You know, I was thinking this morning when I got up to bring it's so important how you deal with oops.
Sorry about that, y'all. So we were talking about the exercises, the yoga poses and stuff. There's several yoga poses you can do. And remember I was telling you the 3 threes, the thought, the action, the reaction. So to move energy in your body, you know, sound, like I was saying, do the sound. Also doing these yoga poses will address this chakra. And one's called the bow pose. You'll have to look it up. The prayer pose. And these are all just poses. It's not really exercises, it's poses that you do. The revolved triangle pose and the cobra pose. And if I'm saying them too fast for you, just let me know and I'll repeat them. But check out
What was the last one?
the cobra pose. Revolved triangle pose. But these poses will help you too, for your body, for your bones and your body to connect the energy, saying, hey, I'm stretching and it's going to, this energy is going to be sent to this area of your body. So remember, everything is connected. So connect it properly and you're going to have a good outcome. These are some of the things that will show you if you're out of balance. If this chakra is like really like not working, it's underactive, it's not open really good. You're going to have lack of confidence, low self-esteem. You're not going to be able to make decisions. You're going to be very indecisiveness is going to happen to you a lot. You're going to feel very helpless. And you're gonna feel like you don't have a purpose here and that you don't know what your purpose is. This is when your chakra is not working because it's not getting enough energy to it. So to bring that energy to it, would the best thing to be doing would be the sound and the yoga poses to start opening that chakra up and bringing that energy straight to that chakra. But you too have to realize you can open your chakras too much, because if you're really wanting to fix yourself and you're always working on your chakras and you're always doing certain things, you can over activate your chakras too, which will cause them to go out of balance. So I'm going to show you some of the signs of an overactive chakra, this one. And when it's overactive, it means it's getting hit too much in that area of your stomach with energy. So it's going to cause these things to start happening. You're going to be very frustrated because you cannot control nothing. You feel like you have no control over anything. That your life is just spinning out of control, and it's caused from everything else happening, and you can't stop it. You'll be very critical of yourself and critical of others. I've done this so many times. You can be really stubborn. Stubbornness, stand your ground. Oh, no, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. How many times have we done this? I've done it many times. In my younger years, I was very stubborn. But it's really excessive stubbornness where you're just stuck and you don't want to move. It doesn't matter what people are trying to help you and push you into do, and you're just not going to do it. And you're just stuck in a rut. You're going to get very angry and very aggressive. Restfulness, because that's what it's going to create in you to show you that this chakra needs to be, addressed. You're going to be very judgmental too, and you're going to judge a lot of things. Well, it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't happen like this. A lot of things. But that's when it's overactive. Okay. To bring it back into balance, the way you bring it back into balance is to do the yoga poses, to do the sound of Ram. Okay. But to really set yourself up to try new things that you haven't done either. Okay. And spend a lot of time outside walking, getting sunlight. Your affirmations will help greatly with this. But another thing that I found that helps greatly with this is the smell, because that's the connection. So if you know what type of oils to use, when you use the smells, when you do the smells of the oil, it will help a lot to bring this chakra back into balance, right? So we're going to go into the oils. Because first off, when the chakra is completely balanced, this is how you'll know. You will have a strong sense of identity. You will have confidence in yourself and the abilities, and be self-motivated. You won't have to wait for somebody to tell you to do something. You'll be doing it. You'll have self-discipline to turn thoughts into actions. And this is what this shop will bring to you when it's really truly balanced. The very first thing it'll bring to you is identity. Okay, and you will bloom into your authentic self and discover who you truly are. It will bring to you personal power. Am I going too fast for y'all? Because I can slow down a little bit. When it's balanced, it will bring to you personal power. It empowers you to take control of your thoughts, actions, and emotions. Okay, when that's balanced, another part is willpower. Through self-discipline to get things done. And the self-discipline is the using, the oils, the sound, the yoga poses, doing discipline for you to keep the chakra healthy. The next thing that you can tell if it's balanced is the self-confidence that you have of yourself to make good decisions and to feel very self-assured of yourself. And when you can also know that when you have an intention and you're thinking about an intention that you're going to turn it into an action because you're aware of the energy, that's when you know this chakra is balanced because you're not just reacting, you are actually putting intentions out to take form. And that's how you're gonna know that that chakra is balanced. So we're gonna go to the oils. Okay, this will help keep you too balanced. These are very important. The very first one, I use this oil a lot, is sandalwood. Okay, so it smells so good. But if you're using sandalwood, just know that you're using that, and it's really bringing in energy into your solar plex. Now, sandalwood works with some of the other chakras too, which if you want to know that, please do the research on this, because it does connect to other chakras. But sandalwood, I just love the smell of sandalwood, so I use it a lot. Myrrh is another one that's good for the solar plex. Cedarwood, lang lang, YLANG. Lemongrass, and I'm just gonna spell this one for y'all. HELICHRYSUN. And
Can you
lavender.
repeat
I don't
that,
think I've ever.
Shawan?
Yes,
Can you repeat that?
the
The
H.
one you just,
Okay, HELICHRYSUN. And I will tell you, I don't think I've ever used this oil, so I'm gonna go check it out and see. 'Cause I don't think I've ever heard of it. And the next one is lavender. We all heard of lavender. But these are some of the oils that you can burn, to help bring about balance with this chakra and energy to the chakra. Okay, the next thing is your food. And of course, there's everything, like I said, that you can eat that is yellow for this chakra, that's gonna help this chakra squash. And it squash everything. Cantaloupes, yellow peppers, pineapples, all types of grains you can eat with this chakra. Corn, yellow lentils, bananas. So you just go to the grocery store and find stuff that is yellow if you want to strengthen this chakra, through your body. This is how you would do it. Now we have stones and crystals that help. So we're going to go to that. The first one is a citrine. I think I said it wrong. Citrine. Citrine.
Citrine?
Yes, you said it right. Thank you. Then we have amber. And then calcite. Okay. And then we have tiger's eye. And if you'll recognize tiger's eyes connect a lot of the chakras together. Because if you'll go back and see in the past two things, tiger eye was one of the stones that is in those chakras too. So there's I'm waiting to see if it connects to all of them. And if it just makes a straight line through all the chakras, I don't know. But I realize that tiger eye has been in the other ones. Pyrite. Yellow jasper. Lemon quartz. And then a sunstone.
Did it mention gold?
Yes, gold. You did, thank you. I just love you. So that's all the tools you need for that chakra, y'all. That's a lot too. So you're gonna have to do, your own study and your own research on what is good for your body. But at least you have the tools now. And we're gonna go with the questions. So if any of y'all have any questions, we'll take the questions now. But then the next week we're gonna do the heart chakra, and that's gonna be a very interesting chakra to go into and talk about too. So anybody that wants to say anything, please go right ahead.
My daughter has a tumor on the adrenal gland, which that's connected to this chakra, is it not? Because it's on the kidney. The adrenal gland is on the kidney, on top of the kidney. Isn't that correct? Or I got it mixed up?
I think it's more on the second chakra.
The sacral.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, it's gonna be the second one.
Okay. Thank you.
And so that means she's not drinking enough water, and she's not, balancing in the water aspect. But yes, that will, does her back hurt a lot?
She's had a lot of female problems.
Well, see, that chakra handles the production of the female organs too.
Yeah,
So,
she's had a very strong, reactive kind of personality from the time she was very young. I mean, anger, attack, verbal attack. I wonder sometimes. I go back. My mother had kidney deformation. Okay, and then my daughter's come up with that, but she has really had a rough time in the last couple years with the female problems, and she did have them from the very beginning, though, too. I mean, when she
well,
was
see,
young.
it can come hereditary.
Mhm.
Okay. But just what you just described to me would let me know, without even seeing her or talking to her on the phone, that her root chakra, her sacral, and her solar plex are not working properly.
Right.
And that she really needs to work on those three chakras to intune them properly before she even worked on any of the other chakras. I mean, she would really need to work on these chakras for several months. Just those three chakras alone to get them to start operating properly. And she could probably, depending on how much damage it's causing to her physical body, she could correct some of it to keep from ending up
Well,
having to have a hysterectomy and stuff like that.
well, see, that's a problem. She had some bleeding problems, and they decided that hysterectomy was the best thing. And when they did that, they screwed up something. I don't know what happened, but she got a really bad what is it? You get in the hospital, it's really bad infection.
Septic,
She's got a really bad infection that she had an awful hard time getting it to clear up. And then what happened is she lost control of her bladder. And she has to take a medicine all the time. She couldn't pee. And they don't know why. So now she's headed to MRSA. That's what she got, MRSA. And now she has to go to a woman's hospital to try to find out why she's not able to urinate. I mean, she had to take a medication that men take for their prostate,
wow.
I don't know what would cause that, and except maybe there was a problem with the surgery.
Well, yeah, they could have done something in the surgery that nicked that and caused it to have problems. Or she could have a growth growing there.
Yeah.
Also, scar tissue, depending on how long it's been
Well,
since she had the surgery.
that's quite
Scar
possible
tissue.
because they did several surgeries because she had problems and they had to throw her back into surgery,
Well,
and
we will definitely do prayers for her, but if she starts working on these chakras, just listening to vibrations and stuff, it's gonna help her feel better.
yeah, she said that, which is really surprising to me. She said that I find that now, and my daughter's not open to anything much spiritual or energetic and stuff like that, because we had a very religious background and there was a lot of harm that came from it. And she said that she has been learning to sit on the ground.
Well,
You
see,
know, that's
a
really
start,
good.
isn't it? Yes,
Yes,
that is a
that's
start.
really good, because that touches that root chakra and connection, you know, to the earth. So, you know, I'm just everyone, if anyone would remember her in prayer, January 9th is when she goes to the Women's Hospital down in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to see if there's anything more they can do, you know. Well, she was on her gut got all screwed up from all the antibiotics. She almost died from one of the antibiotics they gave her. Well, she actually got stopped breathing and stuff on the table because they gave her an intravenous one, I guess, and not just she stopped
Well,
breathing.
We
So
will
I mean,
definitely do prayers for her.
yeah, she's really, and you know, it's funny because she's one of these people who has been very, very intense about exercise and being healthy and all these things, and then all this has happened, but she took great pride in those things, which
Well,
was
you know,
not
you can look, you can do the exercises and you can eat healthy.
yeah,
Okay, but if you're not connecting the other parts of it, what is happening? Everything is
yeah,
connected. Remember, everything is connected. So if you're not connecting all of it, then you're missing part of it. So how can it work properly?
right,
You know, so that's just lessons and understanding that she's gonna have to come to help work on herself if she chooses to even work on herself. But we
right.
will, you know, we will keep her in prayer and
Yeah,
my goodness, she has a lot.
yeah,
And
she does. She had trauma, a tremendous amount of trauma in her younger years. Sexual assault. She was abused. A woman. She was abused by her husband, her first husband, really bad.
we'll just keep
She
her in
was,
prayer and yeah, she's probably working through all of this stuff. Is why all of this
and,
is happening to her.
yep.
And
Thank you.
we'll keep her in prayer. And Elizabeth, I saw you had your hand up too. So thank you for sharing that, Pam, with us. And we will keep her in prayer.
Her name is Jessica.
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jessica.
Okay. My question is, I've always, ever since I was pretty young, felt a tingling in my solar plexus, or sometimes it'll jump, like it feels like it's bottoming out sometimes. And I think I have kind of connected it to when really, really bad negative energy is near me. Like a person that you walk by or you touch or something, and my solar plexus goes whang, really, really loud. And I'm wondering if we stay in those, you know, we come across people or situations or places that are not good, that are scary, or I don't know, it feels evil, okay? Some people feel very evil to me. Some people I feel like don't even have a soul. And that seems to be my telling place. But I'm wondering how can I more identify what it is and what needs to be done? Is it just to protect myself, or am I supposed to be doing something in the collective, like for everyone?
That's a good question. And really, I'm gonna have to pray about that one to give you the answer, you know.
Yeah, I just don't know, and I don't seem to read things about it particularly, except for some people are just more sensitive to that.
Well, yes, and you are sensitive, you are, an empath, which picks up on things, but also the layers, the layers that we go through to balance all of this stuff. Um, when we're trying to learn to be unconditionally, love everybody unconditionally, doesn't mean you have to stand beside them or be around them. Um, that could also be pointing to you as one of the judgments, being judgmental instead of just being an awareness that this is how this is and I don't need to be around it. So it's really a fine line, but I will call you later and we'll talk about it more, because I don't think you're doing it in a judgmental way. I think it's something.
It just comes.
Yeah, because it's hitting you so hard.
Mhm.
But I will call you back on this, and we'll discuss it, but let me do some prayers on it because I think that's
I've just always been curious about it, and like walking into certain areas and you feel a weird energy or you feel like you shouldn't be there, it's your body telling you you shouldn't be there, but I don't know, just questions about it, I guess.
Yes, well, I will talk to you on a private thing about that, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, because I'm an empath, and there's a lot of us that are empaths, I get hit very hard at the solar plex. So I have to really work to
You work to stay balanced or to bring it back into balance?
bring it back into
Back into balance.
Because when this energy hits me there, it knocks me out of balance because I'm getting a lot of other people's energy on a humanitarian level, and it can throw me out of whack really quick, depending on how it hits me.
Okay.
And that's something that we all are learning. Like, you're aware that when that happens to you, Elizabeth, that it kind of, is telling you to get out of the room. Well, that could be your safety thing, saying, hey, you're going to become unbalanced if you don't remove yourself from this energy, but like I said, we'll talk more about that. But does anybody else have any questions? Because we have to okay. After Susan, we'll have to go into the prayer because we had to be out of this room at 10:30 and it's already 10:30. So Susan.
Okay, well, it was the same it was the same really in line with what Elizabeth talked about, how you end up feeling when you're around certain people. Certain dynamics affect me really bad, and there's like nothing I can do to change those dynamics, but what is it that I need to change in me?
Well, really, you might not have to change anything in you other than if you're aware that energy is hitting you, and let's just say you can't remove yourself out of that situation, then what you can do is radiate unconditional love. And if you're encased in that type of energy, always remember, you can test this. It's really interesting to see. Like-minded energy attracts like-minded energy. So let's just say you're in a room of people and you can't leave, and they're being very negative. If you hold a higher vibration energy of unconditional love towards all of those people and they come to you, you have to remember they're feeding off of their ego. They're feeding their shadow. guess what they're gonna do? They're not gonna come stand by you. They're gonna go to another person that they can feed the energy off of. And so actually you can just sit there and smile and go, I have done my job today. I'm holding universal love in this room. But you can sit back and watch everybody and really see how they operate, and it's quite interesting sometimes just to sit back and watch and just hold your vibration up and know that you're not going to allow it to affect you, because you understand that they're in their purpose right now, and you already understand your purpose is to be authentic and be unconditional love and be okay with it. And let me tell you, it's quite interesting. You can see a little movie sometimes when you're out and about, by just watching other people and how they react to things. The more you start learning about energy, the more you'll start seeing the energy and understand it, and know exactly what it is, and can call it out, go, oh. And so it's quite interesting. I love each and every one of y'all, and we're gonna get
Thank
off
you.
of here. Susan, do you still need me to call you? I didn't hear you because you're.
I forgot. Got to turn the thing on. When you have time, you can.
Okay. I will try to call you today or tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
And it'll be before lunchtime.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
You're very welcome. All right, everybody. I love you. Thank you for coming to class today. We'll see you next week. And Rodney, will you set us out with our prayer?
Absolutely. Thank you, Shawan. Father Sky, Mother Earth, all our ancestors, all our relatives, we thank you once again for this most sacred circle. We thank you for the message that you've taught us through Shawan. We thank you for the guidance and the wisdom and the insight how to become more imbalanced with our solar plexus chakra. We ask that you help us apply these teachings to our heart and help us to remember these teachings in our times of distress. We ask, Most High, Most Divine, that you watch over us over the Christmas holidays. We ask that you watch over and fill with love those of us that will be alone over the holidays. This can be very low time for some people, and we ask that you fill these people with love. Please watch over us over the next 2 weeks. Guide us in a good way. Protect us in every way. We love you and we thank you.
Oh. See y'all next week. Love y'all.